Let me ask you something. How many of you have ever looked at your fitness tracker and felt judged by a watch? Like, bro, I didn't buy a wrist probation officer. You wake up, you stretch, you check your phone, and your watch is like, sleep score, 63, recovery, poor, you are stressed. Excuse me? I just opened my eyes. My Apple Watch is basically that toxic ex who says, you could have done better. Welcome back to the channel. I'm GainsGuy, and today we're talking about how your cute little $399 wrist robot is secretly sabotaging your gains. Not your genetics, not your program, not your protein intake, your watch. And by the end of this video, you're either taking that thing off or at least putting it on airplane mode like it's a snitch. I used to train hard, like real hard. Then I bought a fitness tracker. First week, I felt like Iron Man. Second week, I became data obsessed. I wasn't lifting weights anymore. I was lifting for validation. You ever hit a good workout, but your watch says workout intensity, moderate? Moderate? Bro, I saw God during that last set. My ancestors were cheering. But my watch is like, you burned 412 calories. 412? That's not even one crumble cookie. Suddenly, I'm doing extra cardio not because I need it, but because I refuse to lose to a wrist calculator. And then it gets worse. You start planning your workouts around closing rings. Not building muscle, not progressive overload, closing colorful little rings like you're trying to impress a kindergarten teacher. You ever walked around your house at 11:58 p.m. just to close your step ring? Like a grown adult pacing in the kitchen while your family thinks you're having a breakdown. Dad, why are you marching? Dad needs 243 more steps. That's not fitness. That's psychological warfare. Let me confess something. My best muscle growth year was before I owned a fitness tracker. I trained by feel. I slept when I was tired. I ate when I was hungry. I pushed hard when I had energy. Then I got a watch. And suddenly, if my recovery score was low, I'd skip heavy training. If my HRV dipped, I'd panic. If my sleep score was under 75, I trained like a scared hamster. Do you know what that does? It makes you weak mentally. Your body might be fine, but your brain says, the algorithm said no. Since when does muscle growth care about an algorithm? Arnold didn't check HRV before squats. Ronnie Coleman didn't say, lightweight, baby, my Garmin says I'm fatigued. I literally remember one day, I felt strong, like PR strong, but my watch said, body battery 23%. Body battery? Am I an iPhone? So what did I do? I trained cautiously. And guess what? No PR, because I let a number control my effort. That's when I realized something scary. The tracker wasn't tracking my fitness. It was tracking my confidence and lowering it. Let's talk about the biggest scam, calorie burn. You think you burned 800 calories lifting. Your watch thinks you burned 312. You go home defeated, you eat less, you underfuel, and then you wonder why you're not growing. Fitness trackers hate muscle building. They're cardio biased. They love when you run. They love when you cycle. But lift heavy? They're like, that's cute. Meanwhile, your nervous system is fried. Your muscles are torn up. But because your heart rate didn't spike like you're being chased by a bear, the watch doesn't respect it. I used to chase higher calorie burns. I'd turn my hypertrophy workout into a CrossFit survival test, short rest times, supersets everywhere. Why? Because I wanted the watch to say high intensity. But muscle doesn't grow from chaos. It grows from tension and recovery. And I was sacrificing tension for numbers. Imagine sabotaging gains to impress a spreadsheet. I was me. Let's be honest. Half of y'all post your workout summary for validation. Crushed it today, fire emoji, strong arm. Screenshot of 624 calories. Nobody knows what that means. It could have been Zumba. It could have been aggressive grocery shopping. But we post it like, look, Mom, I moved. The real flex is progress photos, strength increases, actual muscle. But that takes patience. Posting a screenshot takes 2 seconds. And social media loves numbers. That's why fitness trackers are addictive. They gamified fitness. But muscle growth isn't a video game. There's no XP bar. There's no achievement badge for benched 225 with depression. And here's where it gets dangerous. When you start trusting your tracker more than your body, that's where progress dies. Let's talk about the most toxic feature ever created, sleep score. You wake up feeling amazing. You're energized, you're motivated, you're ready to destroy chest day. Then you check your watch. Sleep score, 58. Restless. Restless? I was in REM so deep I met my childhood dog. But now suddenly I feel tired. Why? Because the number told me to. That's the problem. You weren't tired, you were influenced. It's psychological. You give someone a low score, their performance drops. Studies show this. But we don't need studies, we have vibes. You ever notice on days you don't check your sleep score, you feel normal? But the moment you see 62, now you're walking around like you just pulled an all-nighter in Vegas. Your watch creates fatigue that didn't exist. And then what happens? You train lighter, you move slower, you baby yourself, and your body adapts to that lower intensity. Congrats! You just let a wrist calculator gaslight your nervous system. Modern fitness culture has a disease, optimization addiction. HRV, resting heart rate, readiness score, strain score, stress index, body battery, Whoop recovery, Garmin performance condition. Bro, we're not training for the Olympics. We're trying to build shoulders that stretch our t-shirts. I fell into this trap hard. I had spreadsheets, macros calculated, water tracked, sleep tracked, steps tracked, HRV tracked, mood tracked. You know what I wasn't tracking? Progress. I was so busy optimizing that I forgot to lift heavy consistently. You ever spent 30 minutes reading your data instead of warming up? My parasympathetic tone is slightly suppressed. Bro, just squat. Muscle doesn't grow because your HRV graph looks cute. It grows because you overloaded it. And here's the irony. The more I tried to control everything, the worse my gains got. Stress about recovery became stress. Watching stress metrics increased stress. Now your watch says, high stress detected. Yeah, because you won't shut up. Here's the cycle. Watch gives bad score, you worry, stress increases, performance drops, watch confirms bad performance, you trust watch even more. That's not biofeedback, that's psychological conditioning. And I had to have a real moment with myself, because one day I looked in the mirror and I wasn't bigger, I wasn't stronger, but my data was immaculate. My rings were closed, my recovery was optimized, my stress was quantified, but my arms still 16 inches. I didn't need better tracking, I needed better intensity. One day I forgot my watch at home, leg day. I almost turned back to get it. That's when I knew it was bad. Imagine being addicted to data so much you can't train without it. So I said, screw it. I trained without it. No calorie count, no heart rate, no recovery score, no rings, just me and the barbell. And something crazy happened. I pushed harder because there was no number judging me, no reminder I was fatigued, no algorithm limiting my effort. I hit a PR. On a day my watch probably would have told me to deload. That's when it clicked. Your body isn't a spreadsheet. It's not an app. It's adaptive. Some days you feel trash but perform amazing. Some days you feel great and perform mid. That's human, not robotic. Now listen, I'm not saying throw it in the ocean. Trackers are useful. Steps? Cool. General activity? Cool. Long-term heart trends? Cool. But using it to decide whether you can train hard, that's where you lose me. Your watch doesn't know your grit. It doesn't know your ambition. It doesn't know your ex just posted a picture with her new boyfriend, and now you have pre-workout rage. It just sees numbers, and muscle is built on intent, not percentages. So here's my advice as GainsGuy. Use the tracker. Don't let it use you. If the sleep score is low, but you feel good, train. If recovery is low, but your brain says attack, attack. Stop outsourcing your confidence to a device that needs charging every 18 hours. You know what doesn't need charging? Discipline. You know what doesn't glitch? Hard work. And you know what doesn't care about your body battery? The barbell. The barbell is brutally honest. It doesn't gaslight you. It doesn't give you a sleep score. It either moves or it doesn't. That's it. And if this video hit you, if you've been pacing at 11:59 p.m. to close rings, if you've skipped PRs because your watch said low readiness, congratulations, you're not broken, you're just overtracked. Now take the watch off for one workout this week, just one. Train like it's 1995. No data, no rings, no stress index, just effort. And when you hit that PR, remember who told you. This is GainsGuy, and your wrist doesn't build muscle. You do.